It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth a hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl, the science quiz program here in the Prince George's Schools where we test science literacy and science IQs. Test your own and play along with us today. 2 wonderful elementary schools here today vying for the chance to become the last of our final 4 in our elementary competition. Let's meet the teams right now. First from Highland Park Elementary, would you please say hello to Alexander Hernandez, Jonah Watson, and Christian Thomas. And from Whitehall Elementary School, would you please welcome to the show Maya Zaffaralia, Alonzo Singh, and 7th Johnson. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing, and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here in the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to question difficulty with the easier questions on the left. They're worth 5 and 10. Tougher ones 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. At the end of the 2 rounds today, one of these 2 good-looking teams will come back to play another game and perhaps become that last of our final 4 in the competition. Let's go over and make sure everything works properly. Let's go to the red team. And Jonah, would you try your buzzer? Looks and sounds great. A-OK. Good luck to you, to Alexander, and to Christian. And Alonzo, how about the green teams? He's got a confident push over there, too. Good luck to you and to Maya and to 7th. Guys, congratulations on making it this far in the competition. Highland Park, you've never made it this far in the competition. You've won twice already this year. Whitehall, you are the defending elementary school champion, here to defend that championship. And we're going to have a good game. We go alphabetically H before W, so Jonah and Highland Park, let's play the bowl.
Can we get Science Potpourri for 10?
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, in the last scene of the movie Zootopia, there's a speeding car with a license plate that says FST MML, fastest mammal. But when the window comes down, it's the slowest mammal driving. Whitehall.
A sloth?
A sloth. Flash the sloth. Remember, he worked at the motor vehicles. Hello, can I help you? Yes, go green.
Can we get Zoo Parade for 15?
Zoo Parade for 15 points. Teams, the largest mammal in North America is not the polar bear. It is this herbivorous bovine. What is it? Highland Park.
The elephant?
No, in America. In America. Whitehall, here in America, the largest mammal is not the polar bear. It is this herbivorous bovine.
A moose?
A bison. A bison or a buffalo was the right answer there. Go again, green.
Body systems for 15.
It's a visual question, body systems for 15. If you look at the monitor in the studio, it's also a multiple choice question. Teams, at one time, people who had children in rich families did not let them go outside and play. That meant they didn't get enough vitamin D from the sun, and they developed these bowed legs because of a condition called beriberi, scurvy, or rickets. Which of those 3, Whitehall? What you got?
Scurvy.
No, not scurvy. Good try. Highland Park, beriberi, scurvy, or rickets causes that because of a lack of vitamin D.
Ricket?
Rickets is right. Yes, sir. Go red.
Let's get physical for 10 points?
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, your question. The rover on Mars called Opportunity recently died after 15 years. The cause of death, listen carefully, was a huge dust storm that prevented the sun from doing what for the rover? Highland Park.
Powering solar panels.
Got that right. It could not recharge its batteries. You guys were ready for that one. You were right on edge. Good answer. Go.
Can we get DATELINE science for 10 points?
DATELINE science for 10 points. Teams, who said that gravity is the mutual attraction between any... Yeah, Whitehall.
Isaac Newton.
Isaac Newton, yeah, any bodies that have mass. Well, good answer. Look at that score, 75 to 70. Back and forth we go. Green.
Let's get physical for 20.
Physical for 20 points. Teams, if you're in a location and you hear a sound coming towards you, it gets louder and louder and louder in pitch. Whitehall.
The Doppler effect.
That is the Doppler effect because it fades as it gets farther away. Thank you, 7th, for your help on that one. You're in the lead. Go green.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Mucus, phlegm, snot. Oh, disgusting things. But they help us because they're part of what body system that protects you from bacteria? Whitehall.
The immune system.
That's it. The immune system. All part of your immunity. Great. Go green.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, if you really love hockey, ice hockey, whether you're a kid or an adult, you're said to have ice water instead of blood in these second... Whitehall.
Veins.
In your veins. You got ice water in your veins. That's it. Good. Go.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. All right. Teams, on an apple tree, these are white. On a cherry tree, they are pink. What are they, Whitehall?
Flowers.
Flowers or blossoms, absolutely right. Like the Cherry Blossom Festival here in Washington. All those pink flowers and white ones all around the tidal basin there at the Jefferson Memorial. All right, score update, 125 Whitehall, 75 Highland Park, advantage still greens.
Zoo parade for 10.
Zoo parade for 10 points. Teams, at this year's Grammy Awards, the best country solo by Casey Musgraves had what same name as these beautiful lepidopterous insects? Whitehall.
Dragonfly.
No, good try. Highland Park.
Butterfly.
Butterflies, yes. And Christian kept poking you there. Remember, you got to be responsive to those guys, Jonah. It's not just you. Go red.
Can we get, let's get physical for 15 points?
Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, your question is as follows. A narrow inclined plane wrapped around a cylinder is what thing that is also the propeller on a boat?
We don't know.
You don't know. Highland Park. All right, a narrow inclined plane wrapped around a cylinder is one of these that makes the propeller on a boat.
Blade?
A screw. A screw. Go again, red. Ooh, the buzzer says just hold that thought. We've come to the end of the first round of questioning. Highland Park has 85. Whitehall has 125. We'll be back with the second part of Science Bowl in just a moment. Don't go away. And welcome back to Science Bowl. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. And we have 6 young people here who are playing wonderfully. We'll go into the second half in just a moment, but let's talk to them about themselves and their schools. Let's go to Highland Park. Jonah, tell us the Highland Park story. Who's your principal?
Ms. Robinson?
Wonderful. Out there, very proud of what you're doing here. And your coach is Miss Stewart, yes?
Yes.
And she has helped us judge in the past, and she's worked hard to get you guys ready to be here today. Tell me something about Highland Park that you want us to know.
We're an arts and integration school.
Very good. Which means what? What do you do?
We have like arts programs. We made robots.
Oh, you
out
did?
of, like household materials.
Yeah, that's great. And yeah, arts integration is big, so you find art in science and music and math. So life is like that. Everything is intertwined. Jonah, what do you want to do someday?
Work for NASA.
Yeah. Do you want to be an astronaut, or do you want to work down here on Earth?
I work down here on Earth.
Yeah, all right. Well, we need people with brains here and up there because your generation, I think, is going to make it to Mars and probably land on an asteroid, do all kinds of wonderful things. And it'll be exciting to be part of that. Any alternates on your team, Jonah?
Yeah, we have Zion.
We'll be out in just a few moments. Thank you. Christian, are you doing all right over there? Yeah. What you thinking about? Why'd you want to be on the Science Bowl?
Well, honestly, I just want to learn more about science. Not only that, I knew my friends would be on there, so might as well join.
Yeah. So you know some science. How do you know science? What are you bringing to us today? Do you like to read or do you like to do experiments? What's your connection to science?
I do a lot of experiments, and speaking of which, just today in class, we did a baking soda and vinegar volcano for a chemical change experiment.
Did it make a big mess?
Not exactly. We were hoping that it would overflow, but it almost reached the top.
Oh, so close. It's like when you make elephant toothpaste. It's almost like vinegar and baking soda, and it just shoots up all over the place. Google elephant's toothpaste. You're going to like what you see, Christian. What do you want to do someday?
I want to be an engineer.
Yeah, and you want to go to Princeton, don't you?
Yes,
I
do.
got that school picked out. Yeah, you're a smart young guy. I know you're going to do well. Alexander, you're a smart young guy too. What brings you here today? What do you like about the show?
I like that it tested our IQ and see if we gotten smarter.
Yeah. You're doing a real nice job demonstrating that. What do you do in your spare time?
I draw or watch TV.
Yeah. And I asked you once before what your favorite TV show was, and you said the Science Bowl, didn't you, Alexander?
Yeah.
Yes, you did. Nice to have you on the show today. Whitehall, good to have you guys here for the first time. Defending champs. Last year you beat all 40 other schools, and here you are trying to make it 2 in a row. Tell us about Whitehall. You're over there in Bowie, and who's your principal, Alonzo?
Mrs. Farmer.
Wonderful. And I know she is behind you 100%. And you have 2 coaches, don't you?
Yeah.
Who are they?
Miss Wine and Miss Chilcote.
Wonderful. And they, I know how hard they have worked to get you ready to be here today, and they are certainly deserving of all the honors that have come their way. Something about Whitehall we should know.
Well, Whitehall is a really good school and everybody's really friendly.
Yeah. And if people aren't friendly, if you're not having fun, it's like, why bother? Learning has to be that and it's got to be a comfortable environment, and I know it is that at Whitehall. Alternates, I think you have 3, Alonzo. Can you give us their first names?
Yeah, we have Johnny, Emma, and Abigail.
Wonderful. So you got a shadow team out there, one for each of you. All right, they'll be out in a few moments' time here. Tell me about yourself. Someday, what are you going to do, Alonzo?
I want to be a graphic designer.
Yeah, you're into video games and anime. Yeah, kind of the hot thing at the moment here. And 7th, what about you? What do you want to do? You told me you want to be not just a basketball player. He said, Mr. Z, I want to be the best basketball player. The successor to King James, folks, right there on the Science Bowl set. Do you have a favorite player?
Yes, Stephen Curry.
I can't hear you.
Stephen Curry.
He's amazing, isn't he? Yeah, he just makes those 3-pointers, makes it look like anybody could do it. Why'd you want to be on the Science Bowl 7th?
I just wanted to learn more about Science Bowl and how it could apply to real life.
Yeah, because it certainly applies to basketball too. You have to know a lot of physics to be a good basketball player. Those arcs, they have to be launched when the ball goes up in order to make it go through the hoop there. I like how you have your matching shirts on over there. You guys have matching shirts as well. Maya, young lady who, you lived in the Virgin Islands, yes? Mm-hmm. And all that beautiful water around there, and that influenced what you want to do someday, right?
Yeah, I want to be a marine biologist.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you'd like to help the ocean do? Because the ocean it seems like it's filled with plastic now and all kinds of things, huh?
Yeah. I want to lessen pollution and I want to save all the animals.
Yeah, save them all. We don't want to lose a single one, do we? No. You're a fine young lady. Nice to have you here today. Let's get back into the game. 125 for the green, 85 for the red. Christian, you with us? You sure? All right, let's do this thing. Go, Jonah.
Can we do DATELINE science for 15 points?
DATELINE science for 15 points. Teams, this man, who was known as the Wizard of Menlo Park, was a great inventor. And he said, to invent something, you need a great imagination and a big pile of junk. Who was that man? He was Thomas Edison, the man who invented the light bulb in Menlo Park. Go, red.
Can we do
Go ahead.
Okay, Dateline Science for 20 points.
DATELINE Science for 20 points. Teams, African American History Month. Pay tribute to Dr. Gladys West. She was one of the hidden figures who took data from all of the satellites when she was working and invented this system that keeps us from getting lost in our cars. Whitehall.
The GPS.
GPS. She invented GPS. Absolutely right. Good. Go green.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, black-eyed Susans and daffodils and hydrangeas are known as perennial plants. I will give you 15 points if you can spell perennial. Spell perennial. All right, who's going to be my speller at the Whitehall side?
I pass it to Maya.
All right, Maya, say the word nice and loud for me.
Perennial.
One more time.
Perennial.
Go ahead.
P-E-R-E-N-I-A-L.
So close, so very close. Highland Park, you can get these 15 points if you can spell perennial. Who's going to be the speller? Have you decided?
Alex.
Okay, you don't need to ring in. You're already in. Alex, you going to do it? Say the word for me.
Perennial.
Okay.
P-A-R-A-N. E-N, not A-N. I-A-L.
Give me your, say it again for me. You were all over the map there. Spell it for me.
Perennial. P-A-R-E-N-I-A-L.
Good try. P-E-R-E-N-N-I-A-L. You missed the second N, but you both came close. No points, go green.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. It is said that, listen, it is said that mighty oaks from these tiny things grow. What are the tiny things? Whitehall.
I pass it to Maya.
Buds.
Not buds, good try. Mighty oaks from these tiny things grow, Jonah.
Saplings.
Acorns. Acorns. They grow from acorns. Those are the seeds. Go again, green.
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo parade for 5 points. Teams, some of you are readers. Mo Willems has a book about BFFs, best friends. It's about a pig called Piggy and one of these pachyderms named Gerald. Whitehall.
Pigeon.
Not a pigeon. No, Gerald is a pachyderm, meaning that the pig is friends with a what?
Elephant.
An elephant, exactly. Yeah, all right. I didn't know you were going to pull the rabbit out of the hat. I was giving up on you. Go red, go.
Can we get
Go ahead.
science potpourri for 20?
Potpourri for 20 points. Look at the monitor, please. This is a visual question. The largest dinosaur that ever lived is this one. There's a skeleton of it in Chicago. Just wait, just wait. The suffix, the end of the word, is saurus, like in all dinosaurs. It ends in saurus. The prefix is a word that is also the largest moon of Jupiter. It is the Tennessee NFL team. It is also a superhero TV show. Name that same word that is the prefix for this largest dinosaur. Jonah.
Bronco.
No, no. Whitehall, were you listening to what I was saying there? The name of this dinosaur, the prefix in front of saurus, is also the name of the largest moon of Jupiter. It is the name of the Tennessee NFL team. It is also the name of a popular TV show with superheroes.
We don't know.
Titan. It's called a Titanosaurus. The Tennessee Titans, the large moon of Saturn, is Titan. And Titan is a kind of a popular TV show as well. Go, Red.
Can we get zoo parade for 25?
Zoo parade for 25 points. It's a multiple choice question, teams. Teams, there is a rodent with a funny name. It's M-E-O-M-Y-S, Meomis. It recently went extinct. It was living on one tiny island off the coast of Australia. The reason why it went extinct is which of the following? Was the island inundated with floods, predators, or diseases? Listen there were clues in there. There were clues. Whitehall?
Diseases?
Not diseases. This island was, listen to me, inundated with floods, predators, or diseases. What you got?
Predators?
No, it's floods. To inundate means to flood. That was the word that you needed to clue in on. Go, Red.
Can we get Dateline Science for 25 points?
Dateline Science for 25 points. All right. There's a new rover that's going to be left on Mars next year. It's going to be named for a scientist, a woman scientist by the name of Rosalind Franklin. She should have won the Nobel Prize for the discovery of DNA, along with what two men who got all the honor? You picked the tough one. Give me the two men who won the Nobel Prize for discovering DNA. It should have been shared with Miss Franklin. Any idea, gentlemen and ladies?
Isaac Newton and Mary Curie.
Those are very good guesses. They're very good guesses. Highland Park, do you have any idea? Watson and Crick. Watson and Crick were the famous pair. Go, Red.
Can we get let's get physical for 25 points?
Okay. All right. Teams, you know what water is, and it's a molecule. Sometimes they call it the Mickey Mouse molecule because its formula is H2O. So why is it called the Mickey Mouse molecule? Now, tell me, Highland Park. Christian's helping you out there. Christian, do you want to tell us?
Yes.
Tell me what you know.
Because the molecules, when put together, look like the Mickey Mouse symbol.
Tell me more.
There are two molecules, which I believe are the two hydrogens.
Correct.
And the one oxygen is at the bottom.
Wonderful. Couldn't have done it better myself. Good. Give them the points. Go, Red.
Can we get science potpourri for 25 points?
Potpourri for 25 points. Teams, the Maryland legislature is trying to pass a bill that will outlaw all of these polystyrene food containers that people are throwing away. What is that stuff, Whitehall?
Plastic?
Nope, not plastic. What is it, Highland Park?
Styrofoam.
Styrofoam, that's it. Go, Red.
Can we get green things for 20 points?
Green things for 20 points. Teams, 1/3 of the whole world is covered with something called the taiga, T-A-I-G-A. Those are the forests that go all across Russia and Canada and Northern Europe. What C initial group of trees is found mostly in the taiga? Whitehall.
Conifers.
Yeah, good. Green, go.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, during World War II, people didn't want you gossiping because we didn't want the enemy to hear. So there was a 4-word poster, and it rhymed, and it said, loose blanks sink ships. Loose what? Don't gossip. Loose what sinks ships? It rhymes. Yeah.
Lips?
Yeah, loose lips sink ships. Go, Red.
Can we get green things for 25 points?
Green things for 25 points is a multiple choice question. Teams, if you cut open a coconut, inside there is coconut water. It is actually the food for the developing coconut plant. Do we call that stuff inside that is the food the endosperm, the endostyle, or the endospore? Sperm, style, or spore? Alonzo.
Endosperm.
Endosperm is correct. Yes, sir. Good, go.
Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points, teams. Thanks to the Chinese, they knew how to mix barium and other kinds of gunpowder for these explosive things that we like to see on the 4th. Whitehall.
Fireworks?
Fireworks it is. Yes, sir. Good, go. Thank you, 7th and Maya.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. If you want to find out about your genetic history, go to Ancestry.com or 23andMe. But if you want to find out the DNA for these creatures, go to a site called MBark. Whitehall.
A dog?
Dogs, yeah. Good, go.
Dateline Science for 5.
Dateline for 5 points, teams. Who knew that bees were good mathematicians? They got this. They understand what 0 means. Bees can't multiply and divide, but they can do these two things. Whitehall.
Add and subtract?
Yeah, they can. They can do that. Oh, the buzzer has just rung, which means we've come to the end of this game. We were just hitting our stride. We'll be back with a wrap-up in just a moment. Welcome back to Science Bowl. What a game we had here today. Toward the end there, we didn't know which way this was going to go. That's a tribute to the wonderful work of all these young people here today. Our final tally today is Highland Park 145, Whitehall 205. Congratulations to the team in green and blue row, Maya and Alonzo in 7th. Look at the alternates back there. Wave to everybody. Johnny and Abigail and Emma. Miss Wine is here. Miss Chilcote is here. And their wonderful principal, Miss Farmer, who used to be the coach at Whitehall, is here today. And let's have a round of applause for that Highland Park team. Alexander, Jonah, and Christian, you guys never made it this far in the competition before. We loved having you here. Zion, nice to have you with us. Didn't they do a good job today? They did. Miss Stewart, we have you to thank for all of this. You made this team possible, and we are in your debt, and we're in your debt as well. Thanks for being part of Science Bowl for all these times this year and for the past 33 years. We'll see you next time on another edition. Bye-bye.